Hey guys, it's the Awkward Professor again with another quick art tip. So today we're going to draw an eye. And when we think about our eye, what I want you to think about is the basic concept of the shape. And our shape is more like a football. It could be a little bit like a lemon, an almond, depending on whose eye you're looking at. Now, we're not looking at anyone's eye in particular, so we're just going to use a basic shape like a football to help us draw this out. So when we draw an eye, we really want to focus on what our basic shape is. And so we're looking at a football here. And obviously you have to adjust things as you draw. It can't always be drawn perfect the first time. So I got my basic football shape. From there, we have to draw different aspects of the eye. I'm going to start with drawing my iris, and the iris is our color part of the eye, and I'm just going to kind of draw this in here, and I don't want it to take up all of the eye, but I do want to make sure that it is a portion of the eye. So there's my iris. It's going to be the color part of the eye. From there, we also have our pupil, and then we also have a highlight that we added in there. Now I'm going to add my pupil in here. My pupil should fit in there kind of nicely, about half the size. And then I left a little space here because I'm going to create a little highlight. And that highlight is a reflection of light on someone's eye. It also is what we consider the twinkle of someone's eye. And then we're going to go in after we get all this, and we're going to move to our tear duct. Our tear duct is that area on the outside of your eye or inside of your eye where your tears come from, typically a reddish pink color. A lot of people forget that when they are drawing eyes, if they're trying to be realistic with what they're drawing. Next, you have your upper eyelid and your lower eyelid, and our upper eyelid is going to overlap our iris a little bit, and it also, once we get out here, it will overlap that bottom eyelid. The bottom eyelid is less dominant, but it's just kind of in there. So we're going to kind of give a little bit of an edge to it. And nothing special with this drawing. And then next, we're going to go back and we're going to add our details. So if you look at this eye up here, I've created some value in the iris. And that's the color part of the eye. And when I teach people, I tell them you need to draw a line all the way through. So if I drew an imaginary line all the way through, that line would connect. And then I just split this up into different sections. And then I continue to do that as I draw. And by doing this, it helps us create different varieties of the background. And once you get it split up pretty close, you're just going to come in and you're going to add individual lines in those sections, and some can be shorter, some could be a little bit longer. And I'm using a little bit softer lead pencil, which helps with shading a little bit and smearing that pencil. So I'm just going to create some line value, and what we want to do is create as much detail in as less amount of time as possible. So I got my lines in there, and some are darker, some are lighter. I'm going to take my blending tool here, or paper tortillon, and I'm just going to softly blend out a little bit of that background color. Now, not all of it has to be blended out, but we like to give a little bit of value change in there, since your eyes do have nice color to them. And then I'm going to go back in, and I could darken anything that I feel I need to. So if I want to put some darker lines in there, help create some contrast, I'll do that. Once I get all that done, I then going to work and move on to my pupil. So my pupil, again, is this dark area in the middle of your eye that absorbs most of the light we see from. And it is a nice solid black color. So we're going to add a value that is really dark, just to help create that contrast there. So we have a really nice contrast between that and our iris. And then we have our highlight, and I left that light so that it really stands out and creates that contrast. So we have a few different values in there. It creates a nice contrast. I can use my blending tool again, and I'm going to darken in this tear duct again just a little bit. And then I'm going to go up, and the last thing I need to do is add some of these eyelashes. So on the bottom, it's less dominant. So I'm just going to add a couple, and they typically go up and then down a little bit. And as you split the eye in half, your eyelashes technically start to turn and go the other way. On the top, we use the outside for our more dominant ones, and these ones go down and then they curl up a little bit. And that is one of the toughest things for young artists to do, is curl out those eyelashes. But you can make as many eyelashes as you want, and you can overlap them as much as you want. And this really helps to create a nice look to an eye. Okay, well, that's basically it for this tutorial. Good luck drawing, and it's another quick art tip from the Awkward Professor.